Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time seeing me, my name is Florin, nice to meet you. On this channel I provide tutorials on how to edit your photos, how to edit your videos, and I'm pleased to say that today is the first tutorial about video making on Premiere Pro. So a lot of you get confused when it comes to color corrections and color grading. Here's the thing, today I will start the first tutorial talking about color correction and color grading, what is the difference between them and how to apply and what's the workflow in Premiere Pro. So stay tuned. So first things first, let's start with color correction. What is the color correction mean? The color correction is any setting that you apply direct to your footage when it comes to exposure, to highlight, shadow, white balance, black points, white points, the same things that you apply to a photo. So anything applied direct into your footage will call color correction. And what is exactly that doing is actually bringing your footage to a life, giving your eye the view of reality footage. If you shoot that video or you get from someone else and want to edit it, so basically those settings and color correction, you want to bring back the footage to a life exactly how your eye will see in reality. While the color grading is anything above that color correction, like applying like changing the mood of your footage. For example, as you watching a movie, you'll see that the bluish one, the dark mood or the dark mood thing, or the orange thing, things like that. But let me show you exactly how is that look and how to apply direct in Premiere Pro. So first thing first, let's open up the Premiere Pro. So here we go. As you can see, I have already two sequences here imported on my Premiere Pro. Let's have a quick look on it. This is my son, by the way. Is everything in slow motion because it's been recording 120 frames per second. And by the way, if this is the first time on Premiere Pro, here is how you import, the easiest way to import footage on Premiere Pro. So basically, open up any folder you have the footage saved, drag the footage and drop it in your import setting. It will automatically import, save here, and this is basically the easiest way to do that. But let's get back to our work. Input and out, and then when you're ready, just take the footage, drag it to the timeline, and there you go, you have the footage already saved here. By the way, this has been recorded at A7 III with a log applied to it. So first thing first, we wanna bring this back to reality, so like our eyes will see the reality, the color, the exposure, the shadows and all this. So in order to do that, make sure that you select the footage, go to color, and here we'll bring up Lumetri color, and you have everything here. If you ever use any other software to edit any photo, basically this sets the settings that you apply to a photo. So we have here temperature to set up your white balance, a tone when it comes to exposure, the contrast, highlights, shadows, white points and black points. So let's start doing like small corrections here. Let's bring a little bit up the contrast, the highlights a little bit down, the shadows a little bit down, the white points and the black points. The temperature, let's bring down a little bit the temperature because I've been there. So basically it was so cold outside. It was filmed on a park. Let's add a little bit of thing like 2, so you already can see the difference before and after. Now going down to color wheel, and we have here the shadows, highlights and midtones. So you have the slice on the left on each section. So let's bring a little bit down the shadows, midtones, and the highlights. As you can see, there's already changed on this. Let me show you the before and after, and this is actually applied to the color wheel. So as you can see, it's getting a little bit back to reality. So let's move on. Let's move to the curve. In the curve session, you have here the RGB red, green, and blue, and the main one which actually gonna affect the entire image. So what I like to do here is to select 3 points and the exposure shot, the midtones, highlights, and shadows, and create a little S curve to give a little bit more contrast to the image. There we go. And now you can see the both sides, how it was at the beginning and how it is now. Let's do a quick before and after using the curves. So here, this is how it's looking. So basically this is the process of color correction and how to bring back a little bit to the reality, setting up the correct exposure, the shadows, the highlights, and bring back some of the colors. So here's the part, the interesting part when it comes to the color grading. So color grading is actually anything applied to this footage above these segments. So what I mean by that, we are not gonna work on the same footage. So basically we don't wanna change anything on the main one. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna tap here on the corner the new item, and we're gonna select the adjustment layer, set it up to 25 per second, so it is gonna match our video. We're gonna extend this as it is the entire video. So as you can see, nothing happened right now, but here the magic is actually happen. Even if you're gonna use LUTs, like most of you are spending a lot of money on buying LUTs, but applying a LUT is actually based on the color grading. So when you use a LUT, you still have to do this process from the beginning, the color correction. The LUT will never change or adjust your color correction. If you add any LUT onto your footage, you still have to do the same process from the beginning to match your sequences. So let me show you what I mean by that. So now the interesting part is coming. It depends when how you want your footage to look like. For example, if you wanna get more in depth with and create like a moody around your footage, and everything that you're gonna apply is basically on top of your footage on this adjustment layer that we already created. So let's go to the basic, and let's say for example I want this image to look more so let's say for example I want this video to look more bluish and it's very cold, like some other sequences from movies, different movies. So we're gonna go down here to the color wheels, and we gonna make sure that we have selected the adjustment layer, and we're gonna go to the highlights, dragging down to blue, the midtones. Actually we want to do this an opposite way, and the shadows same to the blue. And drag a little bit down the slice from shadows, the highlights too, and as you can see it is applied. So right now what you can see, what you see right now is basically the color correction, and if you activate this one from adjustment layer, gives you that extra layer of the color. So here is how it looks. But anyway, let's reset this to 0. So let's say, for example, we want like a moody and orange field. So we're gonna start with the shadows, bringing it down to the blue a little bit, like this. And then the highlights, the opposite color, which is the orange field, and the mid-tones, we're gonna lower a little bit the mid-tones, and you can see the difference on how the footage is looking now. So everything we actually apply, we apply direct to the adjustment layer. But let me show you with another video, another sequence. We're gonna take this one with the back and drag into our timeline. So as you can see, starting from the beginning, we're gonna start with the basic corrections. That's why it's actually called color correction, starting with basic corrections. So we're gonna increase a little bit our contrast, bring down a little bit the highlights, a little bit the shadows, white points, playing around until you can see exactly how you would like to look like, the black points, and then moving down to curves and do again the 3 points and do that as curve. There we go. And now we have this footage, bring it back to reality. Now let's do another thing and show you how to apply the LUT. Applying the LUT, you're gonna go again, create a new adjustment layer, and then bring it in top of your footage, extend it to match the timeline. Okay, so as you can see, nothing happened yet, but let's add a LUT on it and see how does this look. So back here to basic corrections, you can see here the second one is input LUT. Click on it, then browse and go exactly where you have the LUT already saved. Well, I have a bunch of LUTs here. I'm gonna go for this one and try different looks to see how is this applying to my footage. As you can see, different looks. Actually, I kind of like this one. So from here, let me show you something. If I going to take away this adjustment layer, the only thing you can see on this footage is the color corrections that we made before. Applying back this adjustment layer, is adding another layer in top of our color correction and bring back some of the colors. So from here we can actually start working on and adjusting it until it's match our video. So let's bring down a little bit the temperature, increase a little bit the highlights, the shadows, the whites and the blacks. Then go back to the color wheels, and as you can see, we have a little bit too much oranges here on the shadows. So let's match this. Let's add a little bit of bluish in our shadows, and also a little bit on the highlights. So as you can see, the both images are looking really different, and this one is edited. Let's do it from the beginning. Let's play from the beginning, and this is how the images will look like when you apply a lot of color grading into your image. So that's it guys with this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed and you've learned something new. If you already knew these things, well done. If not, again, well done, something new for today. So that's it for this tutorial. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, and also to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Another new tutorials will come every week, so I suggest you don't miss out. That's it for today. See you next. Stay safe. Bye.